Thank you, Dan, for your kind introduction. I apologize for being overdressed, but it's not every day that I'm on TV. The Security Working Group has a mission. And first of all, this mission comes from its constituents, which include network operators, equipment vendors, and law enforcement agencies. I don't think the latter are present anywhere else in other groups. And our role is to advise the ISG on all matters of the relevant security technologies. In addition, of course, we're developing our own specifications. Now, we approach in our specifications the problem from two ends. First, we identify the NFV-specific security problems. But we also identify technological advantages of the NFV environment, because those have proven to be unique for providing security. Then we provide specific guidance on various aspects of NFV security. We are trying to stay very close to the ground, while of course being in the cloud, by looking and analyzing at in much of detail the present open source based platforms. We have started and actually have completed the work on OpenStack security analysis. The lawful interception, which we'll address in a moment, a very non-trivial problem in the cloud environment and specifically in NFV, is something that we need to solve and have not solved yet. To this end, we work with very closely, by direct participation in our group, with other ETSI working groups, and in particular it's ETSI Cyber, TCLI, present in this room for this matter, and Trusted Computing Group. And of course our work on OpenStack came with direct contribution of people who influence OpenStack. Something that seemed to be a bit an overstatement 3 years ago has been proven to be true, and that is that NFV presents unique opportunities for addressing security problems. Our approach is, first of all, immediately tied up to platform security. And we had shown that if we make that secure, everything else can be built on top of that with services. We're in the cloud, and therefore we exploit new cloud capabilities, which are automation and analytics, introspection, both hypervisor and agent enabled, and monitoring, which has already been mentioned in the context of RHEL. And ultimately, we need to provide global response to security events according to the network operator policies. So we have been discussing now for 2 meetings, and well, for probably 6 meetings if you take all the ones in between, the new proposal under the name of Security Orchestrator. Now, and if we can improve the security properties of network functions, help with the provision of secure services, which grow, by the way, by the carrier, and that's a unique advantage for operators, and provide better protection of the carrier cloud. With all of that, maybe on the negative side, the lawful interception is yet an unsolved problem. A brief word of history. Expert group was started in phase 1. It had 3 people, and actually it was a closed group. I believe it was number 4 when I joined. Dr. Briska, then in British Telecom, had led it, and for quite a while there were no communications beyond email exchange. Then we all met at one of the ATF meetings and started to plan how to advance it, and then all of a sudden things grew. Just to fast forward ahead to where we are right now, we are a working group. Mike Bursell of Intel is vice chairman. Now, these numbers are interesting. I was a few weeks ago, in this we prepared the slides, and it's a steady 18 active participants. It's really 21 now. We're outgrowing our web room for 25 people, or about to outgrow it. And as I mentioned, we work with a number of industry groups, and others are coming to us and want to work with us. This week on Wednesday, for example, you would hear a presentation from quantum computing. And NGMN wants to work with us, so this number is really growing. Now, 9 work items that we have, we'll address in a moment, but let's start with the problems. Our only job in phase 1 was to identify problems and have a problem statement, which the rapporteur for that was Bob Briska. And those had to be, and were selected to be, unique problems for NFV. We didn't want to just go into general cloud because there are plenty of organizations that are addressing it very well. And then, of course, if you take a look at every individual application, there are groups that work on it, thank you, and we didn't need to get into that. Some of them are still open. As you could see, all of them are within the work items that we work now. Some of them, such as those indicated time service, I haven't touched on because of actually more important items. Topology validation and enforcement, for example, is something that should be done closely with the SDN. Secured boot was among the first things that we started, and really we meant to do trusted boot, and that's what we've been working on now. So in short, it probably is not worth going over all of them. There are notes that describe them, but the idea was to set our work in this organization and others which work for the rest of the NFV study. And here we have 9 work items, with 2 probably coming in to be approved this week. It is NFV security problem statement, finished and published. OpenStack security has been finished. And it's incidentally a very detailed technical set of observations, and we don't call them requirements, but recommendations to operators. Work item 3, NFV security and trust guidelines, has also been completed, and it started from the as a mechanism to solve the secure boot, and probably several others too. We're still working and soon about to release lawful interception report. Certificate management report is in the works. It is somewhat of a hard problem to make it specific to NFVs, but it is progressing. Security and regulation report is also nearly finished. NFV attestation report incidentally started by our esteemed Dr. Lopez, is continuation of building trust. It's one of the most essential pieces in the NFV environment that allows constantly to monitor what is happening with the software, whether it is in the right place and so on. And I'm happy to say that at this meeting we already start to have contributions from trusted computing groups that address it. Security monitoring has been mentioned, and there are debates on how to advance it right now to combine it with active life cycle management. And security item 9, the last but not the least, is use cases for multi-layer host administration. That is, in fact, a technology that is helping lawful interception, and it grew out of that. And the idea being separating administrative access so that lawful interception can be done without being detected, as required by law. Somehow I came to the end of the slide show.